back to Lavender Egg. Here are some tips for manifestation that you might find helpful. Manifestation is actually really easy, and through tarot we get straightforward answers of how to get past blockages and to come across these manifestations. So using these tips and simple lifestyle changes can actually get you a lot closer to where you want to go. First, you should be realistic. When it comes to your manifestations, you can dream big, and that's totally okay. But what I'm talking about is the practical steps in order to get there. So everyone knows in order to get to a goal, you gotta work a little bit harder. First, you need to be realistic. In order to get to your manifestation, you need to incorporate practical steps to get there. So this is talking about adapting certain things in your life in order to get closer to this goal. So think about what it is that you have in mind and what you want to manifest, and before you jump all the way to the big ending, what are the things you could do to take each step to get there? Second, you should have no fear. There is absolutely no reason why you should have any sort of fear attached to manifestation, whether this is about the topic of manifestation or if it's about what if this actually happens and what am I going to do? Sometimes you feel like there's an immense amount of pressure or responsibility when these things happen, and it's like, what am I going to do? And that's where the practical steps will actually get you closer to this embodiment, so it's really not that scary at all. Third, you need to have a calm nervous system. It should feel peaceful and like things are flowing. Manifestation should not feel like it is this abrupt, major change that is going to uproot your entire life. Manifestation is more so the transition of your life from one chapter to the next. Manifestation is all of the steps you take in order to build this life in reality for yourself. And so there is no reason why you should feel like there is stress attached to it or you need to be prepared for something. You should feel calm. You should feel like, okay, this is what's coming next and I'm not worried, I'm prepared. Fourth, you should feel content and grateful. This is about encouraging yourself to notice more things that you have gratitude for, but also feeling happy about how far you've come. This is about being happy with what you already have, but it's okay to want more. And I think that accepting that part of yourself is also a huge element. You should feel like there is a reason why you want this, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with desiring things for your life or just material things either. And so when it comes down to manifestation, you should not feel like, I don't like what I have now, or being just very upset with yourself. I feel like that is one thing that could really get in the way of manifestation. So focusing on what you do have in the present, what you are enjoying, what's going right for you, as well as just feeling proud of yourself is going to be a huge step in actually getting there. Fifth, you should be optimistic. When it comes to manifestation, sometimes you're imagining something that is far better than you've ever seen before in your life. And that is exactly where you need to be. You haven't had this happen before, but you know that it's possible. If other people have it, you know it's possible. But you need to be able to see the world with some sort of optimism and knowing this is going to fall into my lap and it's going to be so good. I know that this is possible, but it's going to be far better than what I can even imagine. And when you stay on that side, when you hold that mindset, is actually when you're going to see a lot more positivity flow into your life beyond the manifestation. 6, you need to have applied change. This is about literally changing some things, whether it is your routine, something in your life. It could be a habit. This could even be something about your mindset. So when it comes to this applied change, you have to show the universe, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to have this kind of energy come into my life, and I'm prepared for whatever comes with it. And that's a big part of manifestation as well, is that, you know what, I am not going to stay in the same place I once was. I'm actually willing to do the work on myself as well as in my life in order for this to happen. Manifestation is actually pretty easy, but you do need to give some effort towards it. It's not going to just fall into your lap all of a sudden. The universe wants to see that it is something you truly want to experience and that you are ready for it, that you will apply yourself if needed. 7th, be open to it even in other ways. Sometimes manifestation doesn't look exactly like what you pictured it to be. But like I said, it can be a lot better than what you even imagined. And so when it comes down to manifestation, you really, really, really need to be open to however which is going to fall into your lap. You are not meant to be in control here, and you do not know what is best for you. And so there is something about being open in any way that it falls into your life and jumping on that opportunity. You cannot always be the one to call the shots or need everything to be perfect. You don't even need to be perfect before you do something. And so when it comes to this, you need to just be open. However it might present itself, and be like, okay, you know what? I wanted this opportunity. I wanted this to happen, so I'm gonna do something about it. 8, do things that you once couldn't do or you wouldn't do. This is really important because it shows that you have grown. If you are not going to do the same things that you once upon a time ago would have done, then that shows you have grown, that you've overcome certain lessons. And so the point here is that you're choosing to live differently than you once would have. And that's exactly why you're going to bring these positive changes into your life. That's exactly how you're going to get to your manifestation, is by changing certain things in your life, but also deciding from this point forward, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to see things. And a big part of this is you need to leave the past behind you. And part of that is by shedding old habits, beliefs, things that you used to do. In order to really change your life, you have to change some of your actions. And so you really need to focus on, I am going to show myself that I am not the same person. And because of that, that is exactly why I'm deserving of this manifestation. So it is belief within yourself, but also of, well, I know that I have actually adapted these things, these changes, and that's why I'm also more prepared for this. 9th, adapt your thoughts and your beliefs to this lifestyle. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, you need to adapt some sort of habit, routine, mentality, whatever that applies to the manifestation. You need to adapt your life to that. I'm sure you've heard of manifestation, that you have to act almost as if you already have it. And it's partly like that, except you're more so of, I believe that I'm going to have this, so what are the actions that are going to get me there? It's more of the confidence that it's actually going to happen. But what I mean by this is that you have to simply act as if this is what I would do if I already had this, or this is how I know that I'm prepared and deserving of this. Because essentially, manifestation is desiring to have a certain kind of energy in your life. And sometimes that comes with lessons, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, because these lessons could actually help us prolong and keep this manifestation for a long time. You can maintain what it is that you've created through this, but you have to act almost as if this is how I would be if I had this. And that is exactly how you're showing the universe that you are prepared, that you are ready for that kind of thing. And so make sure that when you're manifesting, you are doing the same things that are not the same things that you're doing now, but that you're doing the right things in order to actually bring that into your life. For example, if you want to have a super hot body and just always be in the gym, you need to make sure that you're actually being in the gym, but trying to take an effort towards that discipline and towards some sort of nutrition. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect about it now, but you have to start making those efforts so that you actually can get there. I hope that these tips with manifestation help you. I know that I threw a lot at you today, and it may be a lot to digest, but these simple tips can really bring you a long way. It can take you really far with your manifestations. Understand that manifestation doesn't need to take a long time. It's all about what you do and how you put your intention into it, because it can actually be a lot faster than what you think. So, good luck with your manifestations. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.